Hello everyone, today we have some information regarding the magazine capacity ban Duncan v. Becerra, or now known as Duncan v. Bonta. Got a little things that we want to talk about that today, small updates, but at the end of the day, this is another one of those cases where you're going to have to wait. So if you're just looking to see if you can buy mags, today is not the day. Feel free to click away, but I would very much appreciate you sticking around so I can inform you about what's really going on. Before we get going though, real quick thank you to the sponsor of today's video, Premier Body Armor. If you are looking to get body armor and not have to dress like you're ready for war with full body armor nods and all that kind of thing, Premier Body Armor has very easy ways to incorporate soft body armor into your everyday life without looking like you're about to drop into war zone. Thank you everyone for using these links down in the description. I appreciate it. So the California Rifle and Pistol Association and the NRA recently announced that they filed to appeal the case of Duncan v. Bonta, the magazine capacity ban, to the Supreme Court. I gotta kind of give a lot of background information because every time that I don't, people get confused and there's way too many questions. So just a few quick things. I have been very critical of the NRA in the past for not doing enough. They should be, or they are the biggest organization, so they should be doing the most. But it seems like there is a lot of slack to be picked up that other organizations have been filling in on. However, the CRPA is an affiliate chapter of the NRA, and the NRA has been involved with this, so good for them. Thank you. But real big thank you to the CRPA. If you see other organizations saying that they are the ones fighting the Duncan v. Bonta case, they're wrong. CRPA is the company or the organization that you would want to support. So this is a magazine ban on all of our magazines that would hold over 10 rounds. So for example, this magazine, which is a YouTube compliant 25 round magazine, this is not a 30 round magazine. So for all of the magazines like that, many people were in possession to them prior to the ban. Then a grandfather clause period was opened where people could possess them for many, many, many years. Then more recently, a law went into place and anyone that was in possession of them would have to get rid of them and throw them in the trash, essentially, or pin them to 10 rounds. This was seen as a takings or unconstitutional by many people, including the Honorable Judge Roger T. Benitez. He put a preliminary injunction on the enforcement of the entire law, not just the part that you would have to get rid of them. So, people for a Freedom Week, during Freedom Week, people were able to buy, sell, import, and manufacture high capacity magazines per the state's definition. A lot of people did that, and then some people are confused about why. Judge Benitez put a stay on that preliminary injunction pending the completion of the appeals process. People were confused why. I believe, and many others believe, that it was a tactical decision to allow that stay to remain in place, or allow that injunction for the grandfathering in of the possession of the mags to stay in place so that people wouldn't have to get rid of them. And it was smart. So now, after the preliminary injunction and then the stay of that, the Ninth Circuit 3-judge panel also said, yeah, that's unconstitutional. Unfortunately, the Ninth Circus heard it en banc with a full panel of judges, and they said that no, this does not violate the Constitution. So yeah, that was pretty unfortunate. When that happened, a lot of people were very concerned. They were saying, okay, so since it isn't unconstitutional per the Ninth Circus, does that mean we have to get rid of our mags? No, you did not have to get rid of your mags. Me, like many others, still possess all of these magazines. So people are like, so what's going to happen? A stay of mandate was put in place, meaning that people were just essentially waiting. We were waiting on either this going back down to Judge Benitez, or we were waiting on this to be appealed to the Supreme Court. There's a deadline put in place, and the NRA and the CRPA recently announced that they today actually put out filed for the appeal of writ of certiorari. I'm not good at words like that. To the Supreme Court, meaning that the Supreme Court has the option of hearing this or kicking it back down. This is going to be a particularly interesting situation because as of right now, we are waiting on decision from New York State Rifle and Pistol Association versus Bruin, which challenged concealed carry schemes in New York. Now you might be thinking, what does that have to do with the possession of a magazine? Well, it's not directly, but this is a Second Amendment related case where the type of analysis that you have to put on a constitutional right is going to likely be instructed by the courts. They're likely going to say one of two ways that will determine how they have to review it, because the Ninth Circuit has been getting away with intermediate scrutiny instead of strict scrutiny, meaning that they can kind of just say, yeah, the laws seem targeted enough. Doesn't have to prove that they work. They're trying. They're doing their darndest. We all know that these laws don't work, but they've been able to avoid having to use a set of rules that would require them to honor the Constitution. Now, I know a lot of people are saying, what's so unclear about shall not be infringed? Apparently to these people, a whole lot. But if the Supreme Court in New York State Rifle and Pistol Association versus Bruin says, hey, you have to look at the laws this way, it would change the game that the Ninth Circuit is able to use and potentially take away their tools and force them to honor the Constitution. Could the Supreme Court directly hear this? It's definitely possible, depending on what sort of splits there are in various circuits. But I think there's other court cases that might be taken first, and there's a variety of other court cases. It might just come out that New York State Rifle and Pistol Association versus Bruin sets a new standard, kicks us back to the Ninth or in some way, and a new standard is set forth. Who knows? It's kind of complicated. We don't really know until we see the full impact of the current Supreme Court cases. So, in summary, magazines, you can still possess them. I appreciate anyone that stuck around this whole time. You guys know the drill. Have fun, be safe, stay dangerous. Peace.